Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we actually, well, had a little problem with the 6.0. So, this actually happened last night, but I didn't film an intro because it was dark and I was driving. So, let's get back to last night and we'll see what we got here. It's quite interesting, honestly. But I also want to mention, if y'all haven't already, please get down there, hit that subscribe button if you find any value in today's video. We're trying to hit 4,000 before the end of the year. So again, if you would, I would appreciate it. But anyway, like I said, let's get back to last night. We'll take a look at this thing and we'll see what we can figure out here. All right, so I don't know if y'all are gonna be able to tell, but I'm just cruising, right? It's not like I'm rolling. I mean, I'm doing under the speed limit, matter of fact. But this thing, I don't know, will this make any? No, it really doesn't. But I'm going to straighten out here and I'll show y'all. So I turn the steering wheel and it has a very delayed response. Like, turn the steering wheel, it takes a second and then starts turning after you're holding the steering wheel in one spot. So I guess I'm gonna cut my drive short here. We're gonna head back to the house. We're probably not gonna look at this thing tonight, but I will catch y'all in the morning, hopefully, and we'll take a look at this thing, because again, I'm just out cruising and it started doing this. I noticed it earlier on the interstate, but I didn't think nothing of it because it was really, really windy. And we're cruising 75, but like this is not, I don't know, this is not right. So anyway, I'll catch y'all when we get back to the house, if we make it to the house. And again, we'll probably look at this first thing in the morning, again, if I make it home. So we will see. All right, guys, so it is the next day, and there's a few interesting things here. So I'll shut that door in a minute. So first would be the axle seems to be pushed a little bit. So if you look at it here, and then we come over here, we have considerably more. Now the wheel is turned this way just a little bit, but it seems we have considerably more over there than we do over here, which is interesting. Also, another interesting thing is we have a clunk in the steering. Let's see. So, that's quite interesting as well. So, I'm gonna get this thing pulled in the shop. I guess we'll put it up on jack stands, kind of wiggle everything around, see what we got. I don't know how far we're gonna get today, because I have an appointment at 2, so that's kind of that. But anyway, I'm gonna get this thing fired up. We'll pull it into the shop, and we'll take a look at everything and see what we can figure out. All right, guys, so we fixed this thing. The bolt for the track bar was actually loose, so we got that squared away and took this thing for a drive, and it's good to go. So actually pretty simple fix. Now I've actually been looking at a redhead box for this thing. We might do that at some point anyway, but not a ton of play anyway. I'll actually show y'all. So, you know, just a little input and it goes. Now I did go ahead and check the rest of the front end. One of the ball joints over here has just a very little amount of play in it. and this tie rod end has just a little play. So, you know, you hear a little bit of clunk. That's probably that tie rod end. So at some point, I'll look at getting some new ones. But regardless, I got a decal, or actually 4 to ship off. And again, I got an appointment for 2:20. So I'm gonna go ahead and run up here. I'll catch y'all when I get back, and we'll go ahead and end out the video here. All right, guys. So it is later, as you can see, the sun's going down. But I actually drove the truck a while ago. Went shipped those decals off. I went to my doctor's appointment where I successfully spent $225 in about an hour. Perks with not having insurance. Anyway, this thing drove great. So again, we did have to come in here and tighten up that track bar bolt, and we're good to go. So I don't know why it was loose. It wasn't super loose, but it was a little bit loose. So got that tightened up, like real tight. So we should be good. We don't have a torque wrench big enough to torque it. So my grandpa actually has a 3/4 inch socket set with a very long breaker bar that we tighten that sucker down with. So we should be good. But like I said, going up there to that and the post office, the truck did great. So that's that. If y'all haven't noticed, I've been driving this thing a lot more rather than the 300. The 300 is fun, but this thing, I mean, the 300 is fine, but this thing is more fun. And I do believe I'm going to have surgery on this arm again. So if that's the case, we're going to have to stop driving this, start driving that, because in this truck, everything is, well, my issue is with this truck, these are too low, everything's in the center. Steering and parking lots is not near as easy as the 300. The 300 is much easier to drive. So that's just kind of that. And again, if they have to do that, I'll probably start driving it more again, which I don't really look forward to. But I guess we'll figure that out later. So yeah, that's an interesting topic too. But we'll talk about that when we get there. So regardless, I was kind of bummed out last night at the idea of not having this thing for the weekend, because I think Friday we're gonna go hang out with a friend, and then I'm gonna come back, and then real early Saturday morning we're gonna leave, go back to her house, and we're all going to Cars and Coffee in Searcy. So that'll be fun. But yeah, so if this thing was broke and we couldn't get parts this week, that would have been a real bummer. But I think we're good. So I am going to drive it this week. Probably run the rest of this tank of diesel out, because I did stop and put $40 worth in it last night. That way I had an incentive to come home, because I know I didn't want to put diesel in it twice. And yeah, so I'll probably run the rest of this out, and then if we make it that far without something happening, we'll be good, I believe. So that's the plan with that. But like I said, this thing is doing great. Also, once we tighten that bolt back up, my front axle come back in a little bit. So now we are very much so centered. It might be a little off, and what I'm looking at is the fender, because I know this piece is whatever's wrong with it. But we're good. So pretty happy about that. And if it keeps being an issue. I believe I want to rebuild this front end anyway, put all new stuff under it. That way we ain't got to worry about it. We know this outer is a little loose, and that ball joint over there is a little loose, so I figure at some point we'll come through here and we'll just rebuild all of it. That way we don't got to worry about it or anything like that. We've already done hubs, probably, I don't know, 20,000 miles ago at this point. So, you know, that's pretty good. But like I said, there's a bunch of stuff I still want to do with this, so we're, you know, we'll just go through, checking boxes off, and getting this thing ready to go. It's ready to go already, but just to make sure it's like a brand new truck is the goal. So anyway, guys, I think that's going to be a wrap for this one. So with that being said, if y'all enjoyed today's video or found it helpful, please drop a like and comment down below. Smash that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope everybody has a great day.